a day that I'm pretty much excited because I'll be hosting an amazing, amazing, beautiful couple with a beautiful story. And today it is about Relationship Clinic, and this indeed is a working relationship. You can't miss this today. And so, keep it right here. My listeners, my viewer, wherever you are, don't touch that dial, because we are going to bring the house down this morning with the conversation that we're going to have on age and nothing but a number. Just get talking to me on our SMS line 20316. WhatsApp us on 0786316316. Let us know what you think about the conversation today and loop in and be part of this beautiful conversation. Karibuni sana, Mr. and Mrs. Mushiri.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, karibuni sana.
Thank you.
I think the ladies will go first, so you'll start by introducing yourself to our audience.
All right. Hi, my name is Susan Mushiri, born again. I am a admin by profession, but I'm also a training psychologist. And above all, I'm so amazed to be here and to proclaim the salvation of Jesus Christ in my heart. Yes.
Hi, viewers. I'm Alexander Muchiri Sendi. I serve with Anglican Church of Kenya as a pastor. I love the Lord Jesus, who is the good Lord in my life, and I have really loved to be in the Lord. I've not regretted and even ashamed of this gospel that I've ministered throughout for the bigger part of my life. And lucky to be loved by this beautiful lady. Yes, you can see that.
Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And probably just to dive deep into our conversation, Susan, probably you can tell us how long have you been married first, and how did the two of you meet?
Okay, so we are 1 year married. We celebrate our first anniversary on 9th of December. So thank you. And of course we had met earlier, so I think we are celebrating almost 2 years in our relationship. We met online, virtually.
Wow.
Yes, I'm a social media personality, so he's a great follower of whatever he finds. Yes. So he was just following things up, and he saw me, and he had to pull me from the social media now to vitu kwa ground. So now we are at the ground. Yes. So yeah, he contacted me. Of course, he didn't contact me for a relationship. He was wise enough. Very strategic, very smart.
Yeah.
So he called me, and he had an amazing story that I felt I would want to listen to. And also he also had a past that he was going through, and he needed someone who can give him an ear. He needed someone who can walk with him. And he just thought I could. I thought also I can. But I didn't know that was actually not the whole idea. The idea is for us to be here.
So Alex went in with a clear, you knew exactly what you wanted.
My late wife had left me about 3 years down the line. At a time when I started feeling, if you have watched us in other social media platforms, I've said I was feeling hollow, alone and lonely. Right. And I needed somebody to feel that hollow, lone and loneliness. And I had set up the kind of a person whom I would want to fill that vacuum that was in me. She says, I'm good for of social media, but I don't think that
you're good for my content.
For the content, because what happened is that at that time, just, I don't know what I was doing, following through the social media, could at Meda Yakagona Lingoge, I met this lady, and she was sharing her story. And from the kind of the things she talked, it's like this is the kind of, according to the standards I had put, the qualifications I had put, I could see her. She fits them 100%.
Okay.
And so
that's where you heated it off now.
From there,
Okay.
so then now we began talking.
Okay.
Yes.
So probably you can tell us how, what drew you to Alex?
Sorry?
So what drew you to him? What attracted you to him? Like now, so now you've met offline now, you're vitu kwa ground. What drew, now when, as you're talking, what attracted you more to him?
Well, first of all, even before I thought I could date him or anything, one thing I love his voice. I just love his voice. I can listen to Alex, I can listen to him, and he's good in talking also, so he can engage you for hours if he's interested in you. So I loved his voice, but of course now when we were starting talking, there were other issues. We were not actually about dating or anything. So, and but in the interactions, he kind of kept it so intentional that he wanted to win my heart, and it is by fire, by force. I don't think I had a choice. Because anything I said or I tried wasn't working for me. Actually, everything was working well for him. My no was working well for him. My trying to escape him is working well for him. Until at a point I felt like I like his intentionality, like
and aggressiveness.
Yes, like this is what I want. I'm going for this, and I post to just see. Okay. So what do you have to offer? So I think that aggression of like, you show you have no interest, he doesn't care. I remember one time he told me, when he started talking love issues, and at some point I said no, he told me, just allow me to love you, don't love me back. So I was like, okay.
I was comfortable having her just as a friend.
So here you are, Alex. You've gone through the grieving part. Here you are. That you see this, let's call a candidate that the suspect amekuwa zoomed in. It is this one. You've met her. And of course, even before then, you've seen her online. And she's pretty, she's beautiful. She's young. What, you didn't care about what the society would say, because we're talking about the age gap here. And she's definitely younger. You didn't care about what the society would say.
Once I knew this is my rib, R-I-B, having prayed and sought it from God, and knowing this is what God has cut for me, I didn't care what anyone else thought. And I remember in my first meeting with her in one of the hotels at Nairobi, maybe she'll be able to tell you the kind of difficulties she put me through meeting her. Even including changing plans in the morning that we are going to meet, just making it difficult for me. But finally, when I met her, I told her, I'm not a joker. And she would tell you, because I remember these things like yesterday, I told her, I don't need a girlfriend. I need a wife. Not a joker. I don't need a girlfriend. I need a wife.
So did you date then?
Yes, in getting a wife, there is a process.
It is a process.
There is a process. I knew there was that process. Yeah, but not a process looking for a girlfriend.
No.
Because I felt at my age in time, given her experience in life, we need to be more serious than just doing the the school, university boys and the girls do. You need to be more serious. Ours need to be a bit advanced.
True.
And so me, I told her, I'm not a joker. I don't need a girlfriend, I need a wife.
Yeah.
I knew that there was a process that because I was serious in this, that needed to be followed, and I was prepared to go through it full throttle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think answering your question also,
Yes.
like he's saying,
Yeah.
did we date? I feel like we dated after the proposal. So as it was
the other way around. Yeah. So you go into so he proposes, you agree? Do you agree immediately?
No, because that was such a surprise. That was the very first time for me to meet him physically.
Okay.
And then he's telling me he wants a wife, and I'm like, For me, actually, that was a time in my life where I don't want to hear anything about marriage.
Relationship.
Not because I don't believe in marriage, but okay, I'm not in that space at the moment. So talking of marriage, what are you telling me?
But when you see him, just the same question I posed to him, you see him and he's a bit older than you are, or he's much older than you are.
Yes.
And there you are. You also, so what is your first impression when you met Alex now, one-on-one?
I think for some reasons, probably given the experience I've had in life, that didn't even... Actually, he's the one who came, sometimes now in our relationship, started talking to me about our age gap and how we are supposed to handle it.
It didn't occur
For
to
me,
you
it didn't occur to me. It didn't, it was
Bother you.
nothing. Because from the word go, actually, the first day he called me, he gave me about himself, his age, the number of kids, the glad children. So I knew if I get into this, I'm becoming a shosho automatically. He
A mommy?
he gave me the whole of himself. So even when I'm meeting him, I'm not expecting a 24-year-old man.
Yeah.
I mean, in my mind already, I've already formed, I think, an image of the kind of a person I'm meeting. And it's actually not anything, to me it wasn't up to date.
It wasn't an issue.
Up to date.
Yeah, I see how you flaunt him.
It has never been.
Yeah.
It has never been. It's at some point I go to social media, then I hear a comment and I remember, okay, we are supposed to.
You're reminding me.
Yes, we're supposed to be. They tell me, is that your dad? And I'm like, oh, okay. So he's supposed to be like my dad.
Okay.
But in me, from the word go, honestly, I wasn't shocked like, you're too old.
You look very happy, the two of you together. What do you guys do to just keep this beautiful relationship exciting, that spark alive, Alex? What do you do for this beautiful lady just to ensure that that love, inaendelea kushika moto?
Just doing what a spouse into each other, they listen at each other, they understand one another, communication, care for each other, look at each other's interest over your own interest, because what I believe myself is that in marriage, you really need to look after what your spouse really want in you, not so much what you want in your life, and trying to work out yourself to be what she want.
You're selfless.
Yes, and then doing the normal things that people do. We play games together. You find us playing football in the house, doing gymnastics together. She has taught me swimming. I never knew how to swim. Going out, drive out, going out for dinner.
Yeah, just alone times together,
Creating quality time together. Those are things that has kept us happy together.
Okay. Here, I've heard their children here, and I believe they are adults now, right? So how were you received by the children? Because I know that is also can be a little bit dicey. How did the children receive you? How did his family receive you? Did you feel welcomed?
Wow, yes, very much. A very, very warm welcome. And today I've learned to appreciate God for that. Sometimes you see some little things and we find, okay, we think they are little, but they are not.
Yeah.
Because after my experience, I've engaged with many people, and people have come to me and I've realized, oh, wow, okay, these are the challenges that probably I was supposed to face.
Right.
Because for me it was just smooth, it was seamless. I had no issues. The children were so eager to meet me. Before meeting them physically, I had spoken with them over the phone.
Okay.
And the daddies then just telling me, okay, I'm here with my daughter, can you say hi? So I would say hi to them, and when I met them I could tell they were eager to meet me.
Okay.
And they even gave me a welcoming cake. And
What age is this we are talking about? How old are the
yes.
children?
Actually, I think the firstborn is almost my age mate.
Okay. Okay. And she also
The three
received
of
you.
them, none is under 25.
Wow.
None is under 25. So these are not kids who are told by dad, can you start clapping, they clap.
No.
These are kids who are able to say, you know what,
Yeah.
dad, we are not
They're thinking
in
for
this together.
themselves.
Yes,
Yeah.
these are adult enough to make a decision and to feel what they want to feel. But for a good reason, I believe for God's reasons, they were very warm with me. I was so warmly welcomed with the cake, with the hugs. It was all smiles when we met. I just felt I'm in the right place.
Wow.
And what amazed me also more is because I had met him oftenly before meeting him, before meeting the children. And he was kind of posing this very loving man. And you know, as ladies, we are like, tumeona hizi sana, this is a movie celebrate. But when I met him with the children, I felt the same warmth is what they are sharing as a family. So I knew this is the right place to be. He took me to the in-laws, where the late wife came from.
Oh.
Yeah, I did that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I took her to where my late wife came from because I felt they also needed to know that by me moving on, we are not putting them aside. We still love them as our parent in love.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And the welcome also was very warm. So for me, everything was ready for me, I would say.
Lovely. You know, Alex says that he prayed about this, and I'm just seeing God's hand in everything. You know, it is just seamless.
Yeah.
Alex, how did you get to prepare these children? They're adults at the point, even then, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How did you manage to prepare them, to talk to them? Was it easy? Was it hard?
Yeah. Well, when time came for us, after their late mom left, we had to set goals of what each one of them wanted to do in their life. And the Tabitha was in school, said to complete school. Philip was also in school, wanted to complete school. Mary was working. So it's like with me, this is what I want to accomplish now going forward.
Yeah.
And then time for me, and you, Dad, what do you want to do? And time came, I told them now it's time I feel I want to move on in life. And because this is what I feel. And to start with, I knew I will not handle it just like in my earlier marriage, where it was just a decision between my late wife and myself. This time I had to relay and dialogue with our children.
Yeah.
And when that one was done, then when now I knew it's her, the having met her virtually and even met physically one-to-one, then I had to meet with them and show the pictures. This is the person that now God has given me. And then we organized the first meeting. And you asked her whether our firstborn daughter, Mary, was able to receive her. By the way, she is the one who led the others, even with the cake. And we were telling her, our dad, and I, and others loves you. Welcome.
Beautiful.
It was beautiful. I wish you would see that.
Yeah. Nice.
So I had to prepare them.
Yeah.
So we went this journey together, and this will be expressed and demonstrated throughout, through to the dowry, even to the wedding. You would see our children dancing their way throughout to the whole and making the occasion. Yeah.
And I can see online, Sue and Alex, we have someone here, a viewer, who is saying, Sally, that's a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
The couple must have been very lucky to have their union seamless. The fact is that the children were mature. Others experienced real challenges, which is true. And their prayers must have played a major role. Thank you, Sally. And thank you, too, for watching. Thank you for your feedback. We appreciate it. Do you agree it is because, Sue, because last we were talking to Alex, he was saying, do you agree that the children being mature also, from what the viewer is, talking about, helped a bit?
Yes. I would say that really God was in the whole thing, the whole issue. And yes, our children are very, very mature. And I think that's, I can really say thanks to God that this is a family that I connected with. Because for sure they are, and they, those issues are real. I wouldn't say that those people facing like the charity, it's out of maybe petty issues. They are very real. There's someone who is coming into their lives. They have grown knowing their dad and their mom. 2-3 years are not much for you to think someone has already mourned their mom enough. So those issues are real that people fight about. So it takes a lot of maturity and it takes the grace of God. So I must thank God for my children.
Amen.
Yes.
Alex,
just to add on that,
yes,
there is nothing good as good as when whatever you are doing is aligned to the will of God.
Absolutely.
Sue and I have always said that we are living in the moment of God. When you live in the moment of God and working under the program of God, you find then everything works aligns, so that when you go to the children, it works well. We go to our parent-in-law, where my late wife came from, it aligns well. When it goes to my family, it aligns well. Living in the moment of God.
I love that. So Alex is here, and he's the age difference is there. People say that sometimes young girls, when you're dating someone much older than you are, you're looking for, is it a father figure kind of? Is that what you were looking for in Alex when you agreed to date him?
Okay, I would say no, because personally I come from a family where I have my dad and my mom, and they have been in my life
throughout,
up to date. I thank God by the grace of God. And my father was very present. My dad is not an absent dad, very, 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 and an African dad who is with you every step of your life. Like if you're moving out, do you have a boyfriend? If so my dad was there in every stage of my life. So definitely, as I was looking for a man, actually I don't say I was looking for a man, as God gave me a man to settle with in life, he wasn't giving me a father figure. God would have chosen maybe a different person if it was a father figure. Because for me, God had already graced me enough to have my dad in my life very present. So for me, I think I would say that I found love and I found peace. I was at a point of life where I felt, well, I don't know why people keep saying that these young girls, because I'm not as young also, because we have also found that one so much in social media. And I'm like, by the way, who are people discussing about? I'm about to turn 40. Why do this thing keep thinking that I'm this young girl who went for an older man? No, I'm not. So at the age of 35, I clearly knew what I would settle for a husband. Not for a dad, for a husband. I knew exactly what I would settle for. So that is what he presented to me. And so seeing it, hey, I could not have wasted any time.
Okay, fantastic. Alex, the society is quite judgmental, I don't know if the two of you have come across being judged, by people. You go to social places, church, wherever, and you find yourself being judged. Have you been in such a situation?
Yeah, the people would think that she's coming to my life because I'm established and maybe because of finances. People won't think like that.
Yeah.
But we have come out to tell them that it's true. Material resources are important for life, but everything is not in money. There is more to life
Than money.
Than money. The other people, they would think because of the age gap, then I may not be able to fulfill the emotional needs of my wife, just as much as she may not be able to fulfill mine, and all that. And one of the conversion I have told my wife many times is that I have told her that she has been loved before, but this time around, she is really loved.
Wow.
So whatever misjudgment out there doesn't really matter, because Susie and I knows what it is that we give to each other.
Okay.
And
Fantastic.
to each other.
Beautiful. Well, okay. So,
Yes.
I'm sure there are conflicts in as beautiful as it is and all that. You must have conflicts happen pale.
Yes, yes.
How are you able to resolve conflicts with your age difference? Because, you know, you might find you're younger, definitely. You are this young girl, because like you said, even the kids, you're almost like age, so you're definitely younger. So how do you resolve conflict with him with that age gap? Does it work well?
Yeah, one thing I would want to say, let's not live in denial. The truth is, yes, we have an age gap. We are 24 years apart. He's younger with 24 years than me. And and of course, there are developmental stages in life.
Right.
Definitely, we are not in the same stage.
Yes.
And we won't just demystify the issue of age and act like I am at 60 and he's at 40. We'll be in denial. So the truth is that, and you see now, age also comes with a lot of things. So let's say like he has more experience than I have in some areas, not in every area, remember. In some areas he'll be more experienced than I am. So there are ways I look at an issue which is totally a different way he's looking at it. You know, for him, he's looking at it and like,
it's a non-issue.
You know, just the same way you'll be looking at your kid telling you something, you may just allow them to speak because you're like, okay, that's where you are. So yes, we have conflict, and I think what helps us a lot is that despite our age gap, I am mature in my own space. He shows and expresses maturity in his own space. So that brings us to a level where I'm able to try and understand why is he saying it that way. He's trying to understand why am I saying it that way. So then where can we meet? Most of the time he likes meeting me because I think he's able to see life in a broader way. He don't like argument as much. So I think our way of resolving conflict actually, you know, it's most, you know, I've dated before people of my age, and I can say this way, it's easier than the other way. Because we are able to know, first of all, there is respect that is there. I have respect for him, he's respect for me. Then there is somewhere we see and he's able to feel like, okay, we cannot fight over this thing for an hour, for 30 minutes. I think our conflict, well, we've not had major conflicts. I wouldn't say we have had a major conflict, but the small conflict, I'd say it's about the maturity. I think life has made me so mature in my own way. He's mature in his own level, so we meet somewhere.
So what I'm hearing you say is that his maturity, with the age gap, his maturity plays a big role in solving conflict, because then he becomes a bigger person without feeling, because you know, like, our age thereabout, people will be like, I can't be the bigger person every time. But he seems to be comfortable just being the bigger person and ensuring there's peace for the sake of peace.
Yes.
I'm seeing a very interesting comment online, and someone is saying, good morning, Sally. Wow, I'm dating a girl very young, though mature, and my worry was the age gap. But through this show, I'm encouraged to go on. I have borrowed tips from Alex. Big up to Sue. She has really taken care of Alex, and he looks so young that I'm even confused what age gap you are talking about. What a beautiful couple. And I think I made that comment behind the cameras. You remember?
Yes,
you don't even look that age, you know. So yeah, that's a compliment to the two of you, and you know, it's really beautiful.
And maybe
yes, please.
In that, in solving conflict,
Yeah.
I think what has helped, especially me,
Yes.
and even her, is trying to look at things from the point of view of where she sits. Trying to understand her.
Yeah.
There is a conflict. This is her view. I want to understand her.
Where she's coming from.
Where she's coming from. And without letting her feel belittled or intimidated, that she feels that whatever it is we are discussing, as lovers, as friends, and as partners, and companions, at equal level. Because sometimes there is a myth when there is a big age gap. There is a person who feels like can lord it over with the other. That authoritarianism.
Yes.
Susie will tell you that you not find it here. Because personally, I would want this matter she is lazy. Where is he coming from? I want to understand it from where? From her
point of view. Absolutely.
And because my business is to make her the best husband ever, as she likes describing me, then I would want to do what she wants, as long as it's not sinful, you know, as long as it is light. Because what is light does not mean we should agree in everything. It's only that there are different ways of doing this light thing. Then if her way is what makes her happy, I would want to do it. And if my way is what makes me happy, so also she feels encouraged and motivated. For she is to make the best wife for me, as I make the best husband for her.
I'm just wondering, I'm sitting and I'm wondering, with the age difference, different generations for sure, is there something that you admire in his generation and Alex also admires in your generation, something that you look at and you're like, wow, this guy is wako tu sawa?
Well, I think the whole bit of especially solving conflict, me, I think he's so composed. Okay, well, I don't know whether it's about his generation, but I think Kaida, I would say so. Because definitely there's some things I see and I see my dad, actually. It is, I would be lying when I say that he doesn't, the dad aspect doesn't come out at some point. So it comes out at some point. And I see like, well, I admire this way of handling things so calmly. Because for me, I feel like, this thing is huge. You need to resolve it. It needs, but he's calm. He's like, my dear. So I think as our generation, we are very fast. We want things to be handled. And in the whole thing, we mess a lot in the middle of those things. But I think from where he comes from, the composure. Even in whatever kind of situation. Me, I want let us blow this this place, otherwise we are going to die in here. And he's like, okay, Abu, just wait to see whether death is coming, then I'll show you how to handle it. So I think I admire that a lot about him. Just the way he views life. He's composed.
Fantastic. Alex, what do you admire in her generation?
There is something what call compatibility, and filling in the gaps. I want to agree that at my age, there are limits.
Yes.
I can't go. But her, in her generation, can do it for me.
Okay.
She would also agree at her generation, there is extent that she can't go.
Yeah.
And then I'm able to do that. The coming to my life, when we met, we agreed that she's coming to my life when I'm established, settled.
Yeah.
But I'm coming to her life when she is dynamic, active. And therefore, when I'm trying to facilitate her, realize her dreams, so that by the time she is where I am, she also feels she has realized her dreams in life.
So you ensure her growth is paramount.
Yes,
to
because I didn't come to her life to sort of block her dreams.
Yeah.
Mine was to make sure that I facilitate, so that they happen, if possible, more faster than I attained mine.
Oh, wow.
That was it.
Okay.
And therefore, what I was saying is that there is that standing in the gap for me, where I have limitations.
Okay.
And that's what I admire from her. And that she does very well. That where at my age, you know, there are those days I could go to the farm and dig a big section, carry 40 liters of water. Now I can't. I'm not saying that she's going to do those things.
Yeah.
I'm just giving an example that there are things that he knows, and we agreed right from the beginning. I should not attempt to do things that are beyond my abilities.
Okay.
The same case with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably, it may be a very intimate, personal question, but I may want to know, or even our viewers, do you have, biological kids together?
Do we have? I think we don't.
No.
We don't have not
Yeah.
yet,
Yeah.
yes.
I think someone
Not
is
yet,
asking
not yet.
because the happiness, and it's not an issue, you know, and that's what is also amazing. Even without that child, you still are so happy. And
We
Alex is saying
agreed
something.
right from the beginning that should God bless us with biological kids, either way, either by the naturally or by adoption.
Okay.
We will thank God. But the most important thing, that we have come into each other's life,
Yes.
and God has blessed us with the children, glad children.
Absolutely.
And with that,
So what lessons can because like there's someone watching and they've said, what lessons do you think they can pick from this relationship? People who are watching and are just like, okay, what lessons do you think they can pick from your relationship?
Wow, okay. Tricky question. I would want someone to tell me what they are picking from us. But I think generally what I have, Lily, the greatest lesson is about being selfless. Because like he's talking of gaps, there is much to fill in between. For us to be happy, for us to overcome even what the society is saying, you have to be so selfless that you have to think, what is he feeling about this? When people see this, when people say this, what is his feeling? He has to think, what are people saying about Susie? How is she feeling about it? And I go out of my way to make sure that he is happy, that he is comfortable, emotionally, physically, everything.
I see you a lot.
Yeah, so you have to really be
intentional.
Issue of selfishness cannot exist in such a relationship. You have to be very, very selfless to your partner, so that you give the best and you make sure that they are in a happy space, they are okay, because the only reason we are together actually is for us to make each other happy, for companion. So if we are in a space that is not peaceful, that is not, so I think if you want and you're thinking you want to get into this kind of relationship, what I say in life, every stage has its challenges, every stage has its opportunities. Dating a young man has its good opportunities, it has its challenges.
Yeah.
Dating a man who you have a big age gap, it
Yeah.
has its opportunities,
Yes.
it has its challenges.
Yeah.
So you must get into it knowing what you're getting into. And then now you become very intentional that, well, why am I here? Like he mentioned, people have already their theories why we are together.
Yeah.
But the thing is, why am I with him? Why is he with me?
Okay.
So I think the greatest lesson I would talk about being so selfless to make sure that it's not about you.
Yeah.
It's about your partner.
Okay.
Yes.
Alex, you want to respond to that as we close? We are coming to the end of the
Yeah,
show.
maybe I would say that in this kind of relationship where you have a huge age gap, you cannot deny the fact that that age gap is there. And there are pros and cons of the same.
Yeah.
So for those who want to get in this kind of relationship, you need to acknowledge that so that you make what we call informed decision. Secondly, I want to say that where there are children who are involved, you cannot handle this like when you are just a young boy and girl looking at starting it all over.
Yeah.
It is important to involve the children so that they walk with you the journey. Otherwise, you'll be heading for a lot of conflict ahead on going forward.
Okay.
Then the third thing I would say that in this relationship, kind of relationship, you must realize that your partner, whatever the age difference it is your wife.
Okay.
Yeah, is your husband. So that you don't conflict your wife or your mom or for your daughter.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy. And also, she does not conflict me for the father. She need to see the husband.
Yeah.
The husband.
Yeah.
And so what I see in my wife, myself, I see a wife. So as long as you have that, then do what everybody does to make the marriage happy, just as I said it from the beginning. Not belittling one another. Make sure that you respect and ensure that you develop each other's self-esteem. Work at the best interest of your partner.
Fantastic, fantastic. Time is an enemy.
I know.
Time is an enemy,
Really, we're not getting to the peak of this, and unfortunately, my director tells me our time is up, but I would really love to host you again for another even different topic. Thank you so much for creating time to be here. A jolly, beautiful couple. God bless this union. And to my viewers, Karibu. To my viewers, I know you've learned quite a bit. I've seen it on the feedback. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your engagements on socials, and also to our partners, the donors who ensure that we are on air every single day to bring you this beautiful, clean content. We want to say asante sana. And if you feel you want to be part of this amazing community that is holding our hand, please send in your contribution on our pay bill number 316 and your telephone number will be your account number. And just to be part of this team as well, you can send your name to 20316 SMS and 0786316316. See you again next week on Family Matters. God bless you and keep you, and may his face shine upon you. God bless you.